Indian showrooms are currently stocked with engineering marvels. Riders now have direct access to 220 horsepower machines that can comfortably clear 300 kilometers per hour right off the dealership floor. These bikes feature active aerodynamics and semi-active suspension systems, technology pulled directly from the MotoGP paddock and bolted onto street-legal chassis. But the 200 horsepower dream changes the second you hit a gridlocked city street. You're suddenly managing a racing engine in a punishing high-heat environment. Buying a superbike based strictly on spec sheet horsepower or brand prestige is the fastest way to make a 25 lakh rupee mistake. You end up with a machine you dread riding. To evaluate these machines properly, we need to look at this quadrant chart. Instead of a meaningless top speed countdown, we are mapping the market across two axes, from track focus to street friendly, and from high value to exotic pricing. Every major superbike available in India falls into one of these specific functional profiles. Performance only matters when the bike matches your physical limits and the specific roads you ride on. We start with the track scalpels. These are purpose-built machines engineered around aggressive chassis geometry and advanced aerodynamics designed specifically for smooth, closed circuits. The pinnacle of this European exotic focus is the Ducati Panigale V4. It is an uncompromised weapon of Italian design. It competes directly against other homologation specials, like the Aprilia RS-V4 Factory, the BMW S1000RR, and Honda's Fireblade SP. The engineering inputs here are extreme. You're dealing with engines producing over 217 horsepower, mated to stiff frames optimized purely for high-speed cornering stability. That engineering exacts a severe physical toll. The aggressive, hunched-over riding posture and the sheer volume of engine heat make these bikes agonizingly painful at low city traffic speeds. Looking at this radar chart, you can see the financial and physical reality of the category. Track performance is maxed out, but so is wallet impact and rider fatigue, with prices starting around 29 lakh and scaling up to 93 lakh. These are uncompromising track weapons. Buying one for a Sunday cafe run ensures physical pain and financial regret. Japanese manufacturers take a completely different, highly pragmatic route to the 200 horsepower club. That brings us to the Kawasaki Ninja ZX-10R, the reigning champion of accessible leader class performance in India. Kawasaki's strategic input is heavy local assembly. By producing the bike domestically, they successfully bypass the extreme import taxes that inflate the costs of their European competitors. This comparative bar chart explains the Ninja's dominance. The blue bars show the Kawasaki matching 95% of the Panigale's track performance, while the green bars show it costing less than 24 lakh rupees. You do trade away some aesthetic prestige, and you lose the cutting-edge semi-active electronic suspension found on the premium exotics. Yet for riders focused entirely on lowering their lap times rather than buying brand snobbery, the ZX-10R is the smartest leader-class purchase on the market. If you have zero interest in scraping your knees on a racetrack, the physics requirements shift entirely toward high-speed, straight-line touring. This is the domain of the Suzuki Hayabusa, defined by a massive 1,340cc inline-4 engine. Its chassis is long, heavily weighted, and shaped with swooping aerodynamics. This dictates a smooth, rolling riding style, completely unlike the darting aggression of a leader bike. The physical mass creates flawless, planted stability. It effectively irons out the road, eliminating the nervous twitchiness that lighter, track-focused machines suffer from at high speeds. The trade-offs are bulk and tax. The immense weight makes it cumbersome to maneuver in tight traffic, and recent GST hikes have pushed its asking price up to 18 lakh rupees. It sacrifices cornering agility for absolute highway dominance. It remains the undisputed king of straight-line cross-country travel. For maximum real-world usability, we look to the Street Fighter, or naked superbike category. These machines strip away the aerodynamic fairings and replace clip-ons with wide, upright handlebars. Premium benchmarks here include the BMW M1000R and the Triumph Speed Triple 1200 RS. The integration of adaptive semi-active suspension, like the Öhlins EC 3.0 system, allows the motorcycle to dynamically mold its damping to absorb rough, imperfect city roads. You get massive, accessible low-end torque, perfect for carving canyons, paired with upright ergonomics allowing you to ride every day without visiting a chiropractor. The catch is wind blast. Without fairings, sustaining highway speeds over 150 kilometers per hour requires immense physical effort just to hold on. If the Triumph's price tag is too steep, the Kawasaki Z900 offers a highly accessible entry point to the naked segment for around 11.5 lakh. At the complete opposite end of the spectrum sits the ultimate unobtainium, the supercharged Kawasaki Ninja H2R. It technically holds the title of the fastest production bike on Earth, but it is entirely illegal to ride on public roads. It is strictly a closed-course vanity project. For 90% of buyers, naked bikes offer the highest usable performance on real roads, while machines like the H2R exist purely to show us the unusable extreme. To finalize your decision and avoid buyer's remorse, look at this decision tree flowchart. It starts with one mandatory question: where do you actually spend 80% of your saddle time? If you are prioritizing absolute prestige and frequent days at the boot circuit, follow the track path to the Panigale V4 or RS-V4. If your goal is crossing states rapidly in a straight line, follow the highway path to the Hayabusa. If you want the smartest financial entry into the 200 horsepower club for circuit racing, follow the value path to the ZX-10R. And if you want to ride through canyons and city streets every weekend without physical pain, follow the street path to a super naked like the Speed Triple 1200 RS. The spec sheet lies to you. Having 220 horsepower means absolutely nothing if the bike's ergonomic geometry is so punishing that it never leaves your garage. Audit your actual riding reality, not your riding fantasy. Do that, and you won't waste a 20 lakh rupee check.